When you change the way you see yourself, the way other people see you also updates. So imagine you're a football player and you have to take a penalty kick in a World Cup final or some deadly competition like this. Everyone is watching, the reputation, the success of an entire nation is at stake. Everyone just hopes you're gonna score it. If your inner monologue is detrimental or even overthinking, trying to optimize everything, thinking to yourself like, oh my goodness, if I miss this, everyone will be disappointed in me. The coach, my teammates will lose respect for me. These wild fans will threaten me and my family. It's gonna be the end of the world. I'd better be tense. I'd better be careful to shoot the ball properly in the top corner. But maybe that's too dangerous. Maybe I should just hit it safe and in the middle, but that's too dangerous as well because maybe the goalkeeper will just stay there and defend it. If you have all of these inner monologues, that makes it 100 times more likely that you're gonna mess it up because there is just way too much pressure for you. Now, on the other hand, if you don't have any inner monologues, it doesn't guarantee you anything, but at least it doesn't drag you down. At least you've just removed the imaginary weighted vest you've been carrying around. Now it's much easier for you to move and to perform, and in our social lives it's just the same. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that, okay, if my inner monologue is usually negative and detrimental, what I should do is counteract it with positive affirmations, right? So let's do positive affirmations in front of the mirror. Let's just tell myself, oh, I'm cool, I'm confident, I'm charismatic, oh, look at you, you charmer. All of these cringe tactics do nothing because, yes, your negative inner monologue is going to drag your reality down. It's going to drag down the way people perceive you, but the positive reinforcement doesn't do that. Because you see, the biggest difference between these two approaches is that your negative talk is automatic and it's persisting forever. You have no intention of doing it and you have no friction in doing it. It just happens by default and it's very, very strong. On the other hand, when you do affirmations in front of the mirror, you feel cringe yourself quite a bit. You have a lot of friction, you have to put a lot of effort into the performance, into believing yourself even. So like, what's the best outcome you can get doing affirmations in front of the mirror? Instead of having your self-image dragging you down by 100 times, it only drags you down by 95 times. Not that big of a difference. The better approach to get rid of this negative self-talk is to let go of it. You can't replace it with positive self-talk through this approach. The only approach is to let go of it completely. Your current inner monologue is probably saying stuff like, oh, I'm boring, I always run out of things to say, I'm always cringe and awkward and make these weird social situations that people just dislike, and it's obvious that they don't respect me as much as they respect other people. I just get treated differently. I'm an outsider. But this is my social life. I can't really do anything about it. Talking to yourself in front of the mirror, again, completely wrong tactic. The right thing to do is to put in some work here. The work is regarding your emotional management. And now you might be thinking that, oh my goodness, emotions for adults, for men, come on. Emotions are the most important thing here because your inner monologue is not communicating to you through words. It's not a thought that pops in your mind saying you're gonna miss it. It's a feeling. You just feel you're gonna miss the penalty kick. You just feel you're gonna be boring and you're gonna be a pain in the ass for everyone around you. This demon in your mind communicates to you through feelings, not through thoughts. So you have to get used to communicate to it back through feelings again. Now, our main enemy here and the main issue that gives birth to all of this negative self-talk is your resistance. You are basically resisting a worst case scenario. So for example, your mind might tell you stuff like, oh, I'm always cringe. I'm gonna make this situation with a new person cringe as well. I'm gonna ruin everything. They are gonna lose respect for me instantly. The issue here is not that you might be cringe. The issue is that you are not okay with being cringe. Really. If you're okay with being cringe, if you accept it completely and it doesn't bother you whatsoever, guess what? You're not cringe anymore. Now you're cool. Despite the fact that previously you might have believed you were cringe, now you just updated the way you see yourself and you're not cringe anymore. You're only cringe if you think you're cringe. I want this to stick with you, by the way. It's only your image that determines the outcome completely. Because your image also influences your actions, your entire energetic field, and then obviously people will treat you otherwise. So then why would you reject yourself from the kickoff? You're literally not even waiting for them to reject you and to judge you. You're rejecting yourself from the start. You're just like, nah, I'm boring, I'm cringe. So how do you work on this? You work on this through embracing that resistance, through letting go of it. If you want my personal guidance through this process, I have a link in the description and you can book a free one-on-one call with me. I'll guide you through the process myself according to your preferences, to your current life situation, because I've been there and I've taken a few other people with me. So go ahead and check it out. Now, the actual step-by-step process of embracing this resistance is basically running towards the feeling you fear. When you imagine yourself being cringe, there is something uncomfortable you're feeling. There is a lot of tension and pressure you can just feel racing through your body. You are a bit more tense even in your facial expressions. You can't raise your voice with the inflections you usually use. You change completely. That is the tension that's generated because of the resistance. And every single part of your body just screams, do something to get rid of this state, because it's horrible. So you're trying to maybe say some jokes, you're trying to just ignore it completely and move on to a new topic when you're talking to people. The thing you should do is go straight to it. Go straight to it. And instead of ignoring it and avoiding it like before, just try to take it in you. This is the negative sensation, the resistance. Try to go and hug it and stay with it. For how long? Stay with it forever if you have to. This is the mentality you need. However, the reality is probably gonna be like a couple of seconds at most. If you have the mentality of, okay, I'm gonna just stay with it forever, because this is just like you could picture this like your hurt child that you have to just hug and stay with them until they heal. If you have this mentality, they're gonna heal very quickly. If you're just going and hugging them and being like, oh my God, this prick again, I hate this procedure, I can't wait for it to be over. Come on, you child, come on, heal already. If you have this mentality, then it's never gonna heal. And you will always keep feeling that resistance. The beauty of it is that if you go through it and you embrace that resistance properly, if you have this forever mentality, then it will dissipate. Then you don't fear being cringe anymore, and then you're not cringe anymore. Your image of yourself changes because now you are not afraid of a certain outcome. That was the issue all along. Now you don't fear anything. A person having nothing to lose is invincible, and you have nothing to lose because you don't have these random social fears anymore. You are a lot more free. You can say whatever you want to say. You can flow. You can be in any way you wish to be like. You don't have to carefully craft your behaviors. You don't have to wonder, okay, what do I do if people judge me? What do I do if they reject me? You don't have these fears at all. If you work on them, of course, like this practice I just told you about is not just something you're gonna do once or twice and it's over. You have to iterate through this on a longer period of time, which might be months or even years, depending on how serious you are with it. But after enough iteration, you get to the point of freedom. You get to the point where there are no more fears like this. Because truthfully, like you can just logically think about this right now and realize that Well, yeah, if people judge me, if people reject me, that's not really that big of a deal. Like, nothing really changes in my life, objectively speaking. I'm just feeling different. So, again, it's all about your feelings. Most of the things that, how can I say it? Most of the things that you don't like about your life are just regarding feelings. So let's just take the approach that solves this feelings issue, these feelings based issues. And then you have control over them. Then you know how to manage your emotions properly. And when you know how you should manage your emotions properly, you become invincible from this perspective. You can just score the penalty kicks in the World Cup finals a without any doubts, without any second thoughts. You can just talk about whatever you want to talk about in front of your friends, in front of strangers, in front of everyone, and you're just gonna be fine with it. You don't have an inner monologue dragging you down all the time. You don't have the expectation to fail. You don't have the expectation to win necessarily either. You're just living your social life. Because talking to people, social connections and interactions, these things are not supposed to be something you could win or lose. You're supposed to engage in your social life just to have a good time. This is the mentality you need to take, more of a selfish, more of an arrogant mentality. You should engage in conversations with people to have a good time, to give your gift of presence, to connect with them, not to win their validation, not to get their praise, not to make them laugh. The priority is you feeling good. But that's currently constrained by your negative self-talk, by your negative image of yourself and negative image of the world. That is just poisoned by your thoughts, by that demonic voice we just talked about. And we have to let go of it. When we let go of it through this process of emotional management, you take your self-image from here to here. And now guess what? Now you never return to that point. Because if your self-image is here, by the way, and you do affirmations in front of the mirror, you're trying to drag it here. But it's only an illusion. It's not really dragged here to the point where you're actually confident. It's just like a rubber band. It will always snap back to the origin point. What we need to do is update the origin point in the first place. And that's when these two, the outer image and the inner image, are congruent. They are in the same spot and there is no contradiction inside of you. There is no doubting and detrimental inner monologue. You are congruent. Congruence is a fantastic indicator of confidence and of authenticity. And that's what we want for you. Now, as I said, if you want my personal guidance, you can find the link in the description. It's a pretty easy booking process. It's for free. And I'm gonna take you through this process myself. You're gonna be making progress like 10 times faster than you would otherwise. So there is no reason to not take this opportunity if you really feel the need for more guidance.